Hi, I'm Aaron Chalmers and you're watching Sporting Icons.
Okay, so this Sunday, Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury, billed as The Truth. Now, obviously this fight's going to be happening in Saudi Arabia. They're both going to be getting paid quite handsomely for it. I don't know if the new contract has been signed, whereas Jake Paul, as he always does at press conferences, he gets to fight, then he has to make an additional bet with his opponent. It's a little childish, let's be honest, but I suppose it is that extra bit of promotion for it, that if Tommy Fury loses, then he don't get a penny. But if Tommy Fury wins, Jake Paul will double his purse. So has that been signed yet? We don't know. So I suppose for a lot of people are having predictions and saying, well, Jake Paul's going to win or Tommy Fury's going to win and whatever else. Now, I see it as this. In theory, Tommy Fury should win. Okay, he should win because obviously he's the quote-unquote professional fighter. But of course, if you look at the resumes, Jake Paul's fought better opposition. He has. People can say how he fought a 40-odd, nearly 50-year-old Anderson Silva. Okay, well, that Anderson Silva who defeated Chavez Jr., former super middleweight world champion, is far better than anything on Tommy Fury's resume. It is. Tommy's only fought those pretty much with losing records, all barring one or two, I think. But that said, Tommy has been around boxing his whole life. Quite how much interest he's taken, I don't know. It appears that he's taking more interest in pumping the top half of his body than he has actually training. And John Fury, his dad, has alluded to this before, that Tommy doesn't really live the life of a fighter outside of camp. And even in camp, he's been guilty of not taking it seriously, coming in overweight and all that kind of stuff. Because originally the plan was for him to be light heavyweight. Did he have his first 2 fights maybe at light heavyweight? Then that was it. He's been fighting at cruiserweight ever since. And there's a bit of a jump from light heavyweight to cruiserweight, isn't there? But that said, as far as this fight is concerned, as I said, you do have to go with Tommy. He is the professional boxer. But Jake Paul, he has been living the life. He has been fighting better opposition. He does seem more determined. I know some people may want to read all kinds of different body language at the press conferences for one is feeling this way and one feeling that way. I don't know about any of that. I think that on fight night, it could well be a case of who really wants it the most. Either one could knock the other one out, that's for sure. But it's going to get interesting. If it goes past the halfway point, 5 and 6 rounds, how they're both going to be. Because it's one thing to fight an MMA fighter who isn't a professional boxer. It's one thing to fight journeyman, as Tommy Fury has done, and go 4 rounds, 5 rounds, 6 rounds. That's different. Because when you've got literally the eyes of the world on you, and a lot of people will be watching this one, and I do predict it's going to do very, very well at the box office, but that comes to pressure, because there's big money on this one. Now, Tommy hasn't been in this kind of situation before. Jake Paul has. Jake Paul was supposed to lose pretty much every time he stepped foot in the ring. Okay? So he has been in front of big crowds. He has had huge attention. Tommy's getting the attention because he's the brother of Tyson. That's why. Jake Paul handpicked Tommy Fury for the past, 2 years now. So he's seen something in Tommy Fury. Many other fighters out there have as well, such as Logan Paul, such as KSI, such as Aaron Chalmers, such as many others who, of course, they are fighters, they are boxers, but they have backgrounds in something else. So they look at Tommy Fury, and Tommy Fury, well, they see something that they can expose. Now, I know John Fury's been saying how he's been breaking jaws and knocking people out and knocking people down in sparring. That may be true for 1 or 2 of his sparring partners. A couple of them for sure. I know that didn't happen. So, listen, it's all promotion. A lot of it is selling points. But in theory, Tommy should beat Jake. He should. If he doesn't, I mean, listen, I'm not going to say his career over and, he's going to have to change his last name and all that kind of stuff. He's no longer a Fury, but ultimately, maybe it's a case of Jake Paul's better than what people are giving him credit for. Maybe it's a case of Tommy just got sloppy, got overconfident, maybe walked onto one. Because if he gets outboxed by Jake, for me, that's more damning on Tommy Fury than it is if Jake Paul knocks him out. Because anybody can be knocked out. It just takes that one punch. But to be outboxed and outdone on points, that's being exposed. It is. So my prediction for this fight, I feel Tommy's going to win this one. I do. If it does go to the scorecards and it's a pretty hit and miss fight, I wouldn't be surprised if Jake Paul gets the nod. I wouldn't be surprised with that one. But as I said, I think that there's nothing would surprise me. Jake Paul can win this fight. Of course he can win this fight. He could win this fight by knockout. And if he wins this on points, as I said before, that's impressive. That is impressive. But I think that Tommy may catch up with him at some point. I do. Now I won't be surprised if it's the first round knockout, second round knockout, third round knockout. Okay? I won't be surprised of either, and maybe one of them quitting, citing an injury or something like that, or maybe the referee stepping in too early, or however. Nothing will surprise me in this fight is what I'm telling you, but if all else goes fairly, if all else goes as it should do, then Tommy Fury should win this fight. Should. But anyway, let's wait and see. Drop thoughts below. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.